Okay, so let's be honest. The buzz around AI is absolutely everywhere. But if you're an executive leader, the real question isn't what AI is, right? It's how do you make it actually work for your business? How do you get real, measurable value from it? Well, today, we're going to lay out a clear roadmap for turning all that AI ambition into tangible action.
For anyone in the C-suite today, the biggest challenge is cutting through all the noise. It's about moving past those flashy headlines and pilot projects that, let's face it, often go nowhere. It's really about building a solid strategy that drives business outcomes. And that's exactly where things can get a little foggy.
So, this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? As a leader, with all these new tools and promises coming at you every single day, how do you actually turn the hype into real business impact for your company? How do you chart a course that actually leads somewhere valuable? And look, if that question feels a bit overwhelming, you are definitely not alone. We see leaders facing the same massive hurdles over and over. Things like, how on earth do we integrate all of our complex and siloed data? How do we prioritize the right things when we have limited resources? And what about our people? Managing team anxiety. And maybe the biggest one, just cutting through all that noise to find a clear path to ROI.
But what if there was a blueprint for all of this, a structured way to tackle these exact problems and get your entire leadership team aligned and moving forward fast?
Let's start with that first giant roadblock, data. We all know an AI initiative is only as good as the data that powers it. But when that data is scattered all over the place, in different systems, different formats, just figuring out where to even begin can feel paralyzing.
This is where a tool like this comes in. It's a process to data source map. Now look at how clear this makes things. You can literally trace a line from a high-level business process all the way down to the specific data sources that feed it. This takes a super messy technical challenge and turns it into a clear visual blueprint. It tells your team exactly which data sources to prioritize for your most important AI initiatives.
Okay, so now you know what data you need. But what's next? The possibilities for AI are pretty much endless, which means you have to focus your resources on what's really going to move the needle. You can't boil the ocean, right? You've got to make smart bets.
And this is how you do it. This is an impact feasibility matrix. It's a simple but incredibly powerful way to get your whole team aligned. You map out all your potential projects, and suddenly the path forward becomes obvious. You want to focus right there, in that top right corner, the quick wins. These are the projects that are high impact and easy to implement. Nailing these first builds momentum, it proves ROI fast, and it gets the whole company fired up about what's coming next.
So, we've covered data, we've covered process, but none of that matters without your most important asset, your people.
And let's be real for a second. All this talk about AI has a lot of people worried about their jobs. They're confused, they're anxious, and if you ignore that human element, even the most brilliant strategy is doomed to fail. You have to demystify what AI actually means for them. And an analysis like this one does exactly that. Instead of using a vague term like AI, you break down its impact on specific roles into 3 buckets: automation, augmentation, and analytics. This shows how AI might automate some tasks, act as a helpful assistant for others, or provide better insights. It transforms a big, scary unknown into a really practical conversation about new skills and how roles are going to evolve.
So, we've seen these powerful frameworks for data, for prioritization, and for your people. The final piece of the puzzle is, how do you actually put it all together and create a concrete action plan for your company?
Well, this is where the approach really matters. On one hand, you have traditional self-paced programs. They take a long time, they're very general, and you end up with a certificate. But look at the alternative, an intensive collaborative workshop. We're talking 1 to 3 days focused entirely on your business use cases. The outcome isn't just knowledge, it's a prioritized roadmap and a real plan for transformation that everyone's bought into.
And the results from a process like that have to be concrete. You shouldn't just walk away with ideas. You should walk away with tangible deliverables. Things like an executive readout deck you can use immediately, an impact summary with analytics, that prioritized map of your AI initiatives we talked about, and even a drafted pilot brief for your #1 opportunity. These are the tools that actually turn conversation into action.
See, the path from AI ambition to real-world impact doesn't have to be some long, confusing ordeal. When you have the right frameworks and a focused approach, it can be a quick and collaborative journey.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about cutting through the noise. It's about turning AI into measurable business results. No hype, No jargon, just impact.
With this kind of framework and a clear plan, your leadership team can finally move forward with the clarity and the confidence you need to really seize the incredible potential of AI. So if you're ready to move from ambition to action, you can learn more about these executive AI impact programs by visiting Bold Smart Ventures at bsmartv.com.